Welcome, adventurers. Today, we're diving headfirst into the realm of gods, secrets, and ancient power. So strap in, settle down, and let your curiosity guide you. We're about to uncover the tale of the Empty Lord himself. This is Zaros' story. In the molten crucible of Runescape, an imperfect elder god named Mar stirred. Alone, abandoned by her siblings, she moulded two beings from the world's sparse anima. Seren, the aspect of light, and Zaros, the embodiment of darkness. They were not ascended mortals, but true divine creations shaped by Mar's fitful dreams. However, no parent's guidance awaited them. Mar's mind was as chaotic as Runescape itself. Zaros, brooding and resentful, felt Mar's cruelty and yearned to escape her twisted domain. Though he shared an unbreakable bond with Seren, his light-infused opposite, he slipped away one day as Mar slept. Thus, Zaros emerged into the cosmos, forging his own path far beyond his own mother's reach. For years uncounted, Zaros travelled strange worlds. First, he discovered the demons of Infernus, a brutal yet organised race who taught him the concept of civilization. He next encountered the vampires of Vampirium, pack hunters lacking structure, and imbued them with an ability system. In gratitude, the vampires pledged themselves to him. He would continue on, glimpsing the elemental planes where ascendant gods reigned. But these so-called gods rebuffed him, some with violence. Not once deterred, however, Zaros pressed on, gleaning knowledge, observing new forms of life, and dreaming of forging a perfect order. Eventually, his path circled back to Infernus, where he prepared for his greatest conquest of all. Soon, Zaros learned of a world called Gillenor, shaped by Gothics and claimed by lesser gods. Offended by their presumption of divinity, Zaros decided to teach them obedience. But to do this, he needed an army. On Infernus, he negotiated with Hostilius, the autocrat, a massive Chthonian demon who believed himself cunning enough to outwit the Empty Lord. Hostilius crafted a contract, giving the promised legion and knowledge only to the eldest signatory, assuming that title was his own. Yet he was but a fraction of Zaros' true age. With a simple signature, Zaros gained 12 demonic legions, over 20,000 demons. Hostilius realized far too late he had been outmaneuvered. Armed with this unstoppable force, Zaros turned to Gillenor. Arriving around the dawn of the Second Age, Zaros and his demonic forces materialized outside a place called Sentistan. It was ruled by Lornab, a lumbering, multi-headed deity. Zaros quickly trapped Lornab and used its power to bring the rest of his armies through. Stunned by the show of might, Sentistan bowed before him and became the capital of a swiftly expanding empire. From there, the Zarosian banners stretched across Pharynthri, later known as the Wilderness, and beyond, swallowing other gods' territories. Drawn by his presence, humans and other races flocked to his side, or were conquered. In time, Zaros discovered an unsettling ability. Those near him felt compelled to serve. Resentful of any parallel to Mars' control, he wondered whether his followers were truly loyal or merely enthralled. Ambition drove Zaros farther south, to the flourishing Caridian Empire ruled by the Menethite gods. Yet his invasion stalled when Ixthlarin and Amascut enlisted the Majorat, a fierce tribe Mar had also created long ago on Runescape. The Majorat devastated Zaros' armies until CharlieScape, resentful of Ixthlarin, led many Majorat to Zaros' camp. Realizing their link to Mar, Zaros created a new ritual marker for the Majorat on Gielinor, preserving their powers. Thus won over, the Majorat turned on the Menethites, pushing them south until Tumakan's self-sacrifice obliterated both armies in a desert-creating cataclysm. Recognizing he was descending into the same madness as other war gods, Zaros halted his campaign and withdrew, leaving the desert to stand between his empire and the Menethite lands. In the wake of these wars, Zaros' empire grew ever stronger. Yet conquest alone did not satisfy him. Upon encountering the Ilyanka, a proud reptilian race cursed with infertility, he vowed to find them a cure in exchange for their might. Calling themselves Dragon Riders on Gielinor, they became another formidable force under his banner. But to restore their fertility, Zaros needed elder energy. Back on Runescape, he siphoned what he could from Mars' slumber, harnessing it to create new life. He manipulated the essence of aviancy, demons, vampires, and Icene, forming abominations he called the Nihil, for they meant nothing to him if they could not solve the Ilyanka's plight. One particular Nihil, smarter and larger, he uplifted further. She took the name Nex. Nex became one of his deadliest champions. That hunger for elder-level power also led him to the Codex, a mysterious relic he hid deep within the Grand Cathedral of Sentistan. When a malignant voice from beyond tried to tempt two Inquisitors into opening it, Zaros personally intervened, sealing away its corruptive influence. Furious at the intrusion, he reined in the Inquisition's autonomy, transferring much of their authority to the Praetorian Guard, a secret police apparatus run by the ever-sinister CharlieScape. Not all threats to the Empire lurked outside. An elite Zarosian expedition tried weaponizing a peculiar fungus from distant seas, naming it Croesus. It soon breached containment, slaughtering tens of thousands in Sentistan. Only Zaros' direct intervention, burying an entire district beneath the earth, stopped the plague from spreading further. Meanwhile, life under his rule ranged from privileged decadence for demons and vampiric lords to fearful subsistence for humans. CharlieScape's Praetorian Guard advanced the Empire's rigid order, quelling dissent ruthlessly. Some demons even devoured homeless humans, a crime that was quietly ignored. Though Zaros forbade such brutality, his empire had grown so vast that even he did not grasp every darkness breeding under his dominion. And yet, for centuries, it worked. Roads, aqueducts, and advanced sorcery spread across Gielinor, forging a realm so large that no alliance of gods dared face Zaros alone. Sentistan, the Empire's beating heart, evolved into a marvel of architecture and knowledge, overshadowed only by the Empty Lord's looming presence. Over time, however, resentment began to stir. A Majorat named Zamorak, Zaros' legatus, entrusted with entire demonic legions, harboured ambition and discontent. He gathered an eclectic circle, other Majorat, vampires like Lord Draken, demonic nobles such as Thamaron, and even human generals like Vigora. Together, they vowed to overthrow the Empty Lord. Secret missions, stolen journals, and the fabled Staff of Armadyl changed everything. Empowered by an elder artifact, Zamorak prepared to strike. Zaros grew suspicious, but did not foresee the scale of treachery brewing beneath him. And so, the stage was set for his empire's darkest hour. Pretending they were there to discuss war plans, Zamorak and his co-conspirators confronted Zaros. Even impaled by the Staff of Armadyl, the Empty Lord still fought back, effortlessly overpowering his traitorous Majorat. Legend tells of a violent mental clash as well, unseen by mortal eyes. Yet at the critical moment, fate or chance turned the tide. Zaros stumbled. The staff, still lodged in his back, impaled Zamorak as well, siphoning enough of Zaros' divine essence to elevate Zamorak into godhood. Realizing he was mortally wounded, Zaros abandoned his body in a bright flash, followed by cold darkness. His spirit fled, but not before a catastrophic curse engulfed many who aided Zamorak. The newly ascended Zamorak seized control and retreated to Infernus, returning later with renewed armies. In the power vacuum of Zaros' departure, the once mighty empire collapsed under attacks by Saradomin, Armadyl, and a flurry of opportunistic warlords. With Zaros gone, the Second Age ended in chaos. Zamorak declared war on fellow gods, kindling the god wars that ravaged Gielinor for centuries. The Zarosian extermination began. Loyalists were slaughtered or hunted to extinction. Sentistan was razed. The world nearly forgot the name Zaros. Meanwhile, the Empty Lord's spirit drifted through worlds until it settled back on a familiar place called Runescape. Zaros' spirit locked in a near mindless state, slowly regenerating. Countless lifetimes would pass before he stirred again. Late in the Fifth Age, an intrepid adventurer uncovered the hidden ruins of Sentistan. There, a stone tablet bearing the name Zaros broke the silence of centuries. Word spread quietly. Some still remembered the Empty Lord, worshipping in secret. That same adventurer later freed a Margarat named Azanandra, an incredibly powerful priest of Zaros. Azanandra's imprisonment beneath the Yaldric pyramid had been going on for a very long time. Reunited with his mortal ally, Azanandra plotted to resurrect his lord. He and another Margarat, Wahi Sitel, oversaw a covert restoration of the Sentistan temple. They created a communion portal that could reach deep into Runescape. Finally, across the gulf of ages, the voice of Zaros echoed back, ready to return if given a proper vessel. While other gods waged war in the newly minted 6th Age, the adventurer, now the fabled World Guardian, ventured into Runescape. High atop the volcano, they found Zaros' disembodied spirit. To reclaim a physical form, he needed a simulacrum crafted from Mars' elder energy. After forging it, the World Guardian presented the simulacrum, allowing Zaros to weave it into his own body. Though Ma awoke, enraged, they escaped through the World Gate. Thus Zaros, much diminished but alive in corporeal form, returned to Gielinor. He immediately set plans in motion. Tasks for Nex, Char, Azanandra, CharlieScape, each building toward his ultimate aim of preventing the Elder Gods' next great revision, or ascending to join them. Not all the Margarat welcomed Zaros with open arms. The tribe's power was draining, stirring a final confrontation on Runescape. Zamorak arrived, tensions fled, and Zaros insisted they perform the last ritual of rejuvenation, this time, however, drawing on Ma directly to free themselves from cyclical sacrifice. A conflict between the two gods erupted once more, but Zamorak lacked the fiery determination of old. Zaros halted just shy of making him a martyr, proposing an uneasy pact, Vinculum Juris, ensuring Zamorak would not hinder his quest. Their mutual hatred simmered beneath the surface, but for the moment, the Margarat stabilized and gained respite from their withering. Mars' final demise, aided by Seren, left Zaros both triumphant and oddly melancholy. With the elder god Mars passing, Zaros turned to bolstering his own formidable lieutenant. He bestowed upon Nex 4 potent crystals, one each from Infernus, the Shadow Realm, vampiric lineage, and the frozen planet of Leng. Charged with these primal essences, Nex would stand guard against younger gods, ensuring Gielinor did not collapse into chaos before Zaros' grand design could be realized. Despite CharlieScape's apparent service, the treacherous Margarat orchestrated his very own game, luring gods into deadly competition. Zaros, joined by his sister Seren, hoped to secure the Stone of Jazz to hasten his ascension. But Kerapak destroyed the stone, igniting cosmic repercussions. Summoned before the Elder God Jazz, Zaros pleaded to be made an Elder God himself, offering Mars' core as tribute. Jazz refused. Mortals, or even lesser gods, could not simply will themselves into elderhood. Enraged yet undeterred, Zaros departed Gielinor, vowing he would find another path, even if it lay beyond the stars. Though he vanished from public view, Zaros still reached back into Gielinor. At the Varrock dig site, he materialized, briefly to activate a mysterious monolith hidden beneath the sands, unveiling echoes of the Codex, a cosmic patch that contained or concealed rifts to the Shadow Realm. In his quest for ultimate power, and possibly a method to contain or harness the toxic shadow anima, Zaros later appeared near Raksha's prison on Anachronia, collecting a vat of shadow essence. By this time, Zaros had acquired Mars' core, a vat of shadow anima, and also the Crown Archival. This involved a plan with the help of his followers that allowed him to steal this very crown from Saradomin in broad daylight. He believed that these items would protect or assist him upon opening the monolith. Yet in unleashing the rift inside the Codex, Zaros triggered a crisis, an influx of shadow creatures, and the beginning of the Elder God Wars. By the end of the Elder God Wars, Zaros had slipped into Erebus, the realm of shadow, leaving neither trace of life nor death behind. He had sought to mend cosmic tears, ascend to elderhood, and guide mortals away from annihilation, all the while weaving a tapestry of secrets that even his most loyal followers barely got a glimpse of. Today, the Empty Lord remains an enigma. Was he a tyrant, forging empire through fear? Or a savior, pushing beyond mortal understanding to save the universe? Perhaps both. His story is not yet finished. The echoes of Zaros drift across time and space, waiting for the next moment he steps from the shadows to shape the fate of all. I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and to also let me know whose story you'd like told next. As always, I hope you enjoyed this one, and until next time, I will see you all in Gielinor.